This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, how are you?
I'm good, John. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad. What do you have on tap for us tonight?
All right. Well, it's been a kind of a slow couple of weeks, but there was one thing that's wrapped up in the time that I've last talked to everyone, and that's Jeff Lemire's run on Old Man Logan. Lemire has done one creator-owned series that I've really liked, which was Sweet Tooth, and also done several runs on on titles from DC Comics, specifically his run on Animal Man, and also Green Arrow, also with the artist who did the majority of his Old Man Logan run, Andrea Sorrentino. Now, Old Man Logan was a concept that was originally created by Mark Millar and artist Steve McNiven, basically a older version of Logan, like in a dystopian future that was taken over by the Red Skull, where the villains rose up, killed all the heroes, and all that's left are just Logan, who was just living a quiet life with his family, and Hawkeye, because Logan needed someone to pal around with. Now, I didn't like the original Old Man Logan all that much because it treated too much on Miller's shock value and his abysmal tone-deaf dialogue. But then Secret Wars rolled around, and they decided to revive it with Brian Michael Bendis doing a 5-issue miniseries featuring the character clawing his way through the various multiverses. It's like in Battle World, and it was fine for what it was. I mean, Bendis's dialogue, even even when he doesn't have any real ideas to display here, is still a million times better than what Mark Millar could turn out. But in the end, when the decision was made to bring Old Man Logan into the Marvel Universe proper, that job fell to Jeff Lemire. And Lemire does have history making old crusty badasses unlikable, like with his work with Jeopard in in Sweet Tooth. And generally he does a pretty good job of it with Old Man Logan. Even though I will certainly acknowledge that he is working through some very familiar stuff here. His Old Man Logan certainly is a lot older, a lot crustier, and he's primarily defined by his relationship to the Wasteland as established in Mark Millar's series. In the first volume, we see him trying to track down the people most responsible for his for why his Wasteland life was so bad. It's a no-name villain. It's named goddamn, what was his what was it? Black something. Oh, but Black Butcher. It's but also gonna kill off Bruce Banner, because the Hulk's redneck sons were responsible for killing his family. Mysterio, because he was the guy responsible for turning Logan on the rest of the X-Men, and the Red Skull, because he's running the show at the same time. And that first volume, clicking the first 4 issues, was just after Logan kills Black Butcher, he eventually realizes that, hey, but Banner's not the Hulk at this era. It's Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk now. And eventually, and also I'm dead in this timeline. So there you go. So and the second volume had Logan trying to shore up his timeline by protecting the little girl who would become his wife. And but then the very fact that he did that, has Lady Deathstrike and the Reavers come to take him out in this quiet Canadian town. At which point, it's he realizes, I'm just have to be a lot more proactive in taking out these people who are threatening my life, which leads to third volume, The Last Ronin, where Logan tracks Lee to strike back to Japan, only to realize that she's been captured by people by a group known as the Silent Order. Now, this is interesting because, like it is in the Wasteland timeline. Logan killed the leaders of the Silent Order. It's like in order to save himself and his wife. It's like and his wife Marlene. Wife Maureen. Anyway, so like effectively his past becomes prologue because he killed off the leader of the Silent Order. It's like who was also a psychic telepath. It's like he in the present day of the Marvel Universe, like the leader of the Silent Order who's not just a kid recognizes like Logan as like the guy who's going to like who's prophesized to kill him. So it's an interesting little paradox right there, but in the end, Logan is able to to subvert that and eventually bring the kid around to work, like to join him with the X-Men. Now, it's these first 3 volumes are interesting if familiar takes on someone trying to deal with their past, but also just trying to realize that hey, it's already happened. What can I do to change it? But also it's that future you've got is not set in stone. So it's interesting to see Old Man Logan try and change things, and also just be as crushingly determined as his familiar self was. It's as we know him. To be honest, there is no functional difference between Old Man Logan and the Logan we know, except for the fact that one is older. And less durable as well. But this series and the series that have employed Old Man Logan, like Lemire's own Extraordinary X-Men and the subsequent X-Men Gold series, have done a good enough job acknowledging this. It's I'm fine with this. To the point where the recent announcement that hey, the Wolverine we all know and love is back, thanks to the Marvel Legacy one shot. It's okay, that's fine, but I didn't really miss him all that much because we've got Old Man Logan, we've got Laura Kinney as all new Wolverine, and hey, we even had his alternate universe son Jimmy Hudson, as the Wolverine for the all new X-Men group in X-Men Blue. So I understand you want to bring back Wolverine Prime, but it's the fact that it's happened is not as nearly as exciting as Marvel would think. So there you go. Now, and also the first 3 volumes have art exclusively by Andrea Sorrentino, who who is very who loves experimental layouts, to the point where when you shatter when you shatter a window, it's he will have the segment have some sort of double page spread in shattered with shattered glass, providing the panel layouts for the action. And he's a great fit for Lemire, who loves his own experimental stuff, as we saw in in Sweet Tooth. In fact, they both worked together previously on DC's Green Arrow series for the New 52. And like I said, Sorrentino does great work. I mean, yes, you're going to have to probably do some work to figure out the panel progression in some instances, but the majority of his work is really fantastic, exciting stuff. To the point where I was disappointed to see him leave the series after Volume 4. Even though Volume 4 does have a fun 2-parter with art by Felipe Andrade, someone who I had not liked previously because his art just like rushed, unfinished stuff. But here he gets down to delivering actual finished work, like as I see it, for a two-parter about Wolverine teaming up with the Howling Commandos, a bunch of monster agents of Shield, trying to take down Dracula and his latest attempt to bring in all the vampires to take over the world, including Wolverine's old protege Jubilee. So it's good fun. It's like I enjoyed the two-parter. More interesting in Volume 4 was the three-part epic, which had Wolverine sliding back and forth between being in the wasteland and being on a spaceship trying to take down the Brood with his old buddy Puck, only to realize that Jean Grey was being mind controlled by the Brood and like shunning him back and forth through through time right there. It's like Sorrentino's art was it's very very wild. It's like loves to mess with your perceptions, but does do a great job of if you're willing to invest in the effort to follow it, it's really an interesting way to experience a story, especially when you realize that after Old Man Logan's experiences of going back and forth between the timelines when he realizes that the young son of Banner that he left with Danielle Cage may grow up to be the Lord of the Wastelands. It's like he realizes, okay, I've got to go back to the Wasteland and find out what happened to him. That leads us right into the final volume of Lemire's run, Old Man Logan, Past Lives. Now, this final volume begins with a two-part episode where with art by with Felipe Andrade, which I generally, again, if the guy can keep maintaining this standard of work, it's like I'm actually going to be enjoying future efforts from him as opposed to dreading them. So, but it's good. It's good exaggerated stuff that actually looks like he took the time to finish it. But it also sets up the fact that Logan is trying to find a ways to get back to the Wastelands, but he's getting shut down by everyone from Magic to to Beast to Shaman to Cable, Wiccan, Doom, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange, which eventually leads Logan to a D-list Avengers villain by the name of Asmodeus, and having to break him out of jail so we can send his spirit back in time to find out what's going on with Banner's kid. Now, one of the things I was worried about with this series, before I reread it, was the fact that Logan doesn't actually go back to his time. It's just his spirit being sent back in time through his past lives, which is the name of the final arc and the volume as a whole. So he's not actually going to solve this problem. So what's the whole point of it? Well, in the first issue, Logan, after being sent back to the War of 1812 when he was working as an assassin for the Canadian Army, he realizes, God damn, this is a fucking stupid idea. I just want to get back now. So after that, Past Lives becomes a decently enjoyable excuse or exercise in fan service, as it takes Logan back through a lot of his his history from being experimented on by Weapon X to his first encounter with the Hulk and the Wendigo to the end of the Dark Phoenix saga, and it's fun. Seeing the character revisit these episodes, with and the context is also entertaining enough as well, as he realizes, some of the stuff I said back in the day was just really dumb, and also just watching Jean die again, I just want to get the hell out of here. So Lemire recognizes the context of things, and that's it's like, and that works really well, especially for the end when he realizes that when he gets back to his family, but then realizes um, there's no way around this. I'm just going to see them die again, and then that's when he finally realizes that, hey, I've finally got to let go. So even so, like the series, like Lemire's run, like all 21st issues of it has just been like a big, exercise getting the character to move on from from his big epic defining arc by Miller and McNiven, which it's like, hey, that's fine for what it is. It's like, and as far as like the story he's trying to tell, it's like it's also like a clever way to punt the burden of this to the next writer, which is going to be Ed Brisson, who is working with another very talented artist, Mike Deodato Jr. So to be honest, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I want to see where they're going to go with this next arc, which apparently is going to involve a future version of the Hulk known as the Maestro. Now, this final volume also, like I said, doesn't include art from Andrea Sorrentino, because like he only provides the art for the covers. Majority of the art for this volume is provided by a guy named Eric Nguyen, and okay, he's stylistically consistent with Sorrentino, since they both do like fine stringy line work. He's not like the one for Sorrentino's experimental layouts, but it's like I'm fine with it. It's like it still looks kind of the same. So it's like I realize that it's like the guys like Sorrentino, it's like they're kind of one of a kind, and like when like he does solid enough on his own terms. So there you go. Overall, though, I mean, yeah, Millar's like Old Man Logan is definitely highly influential in the fact that they've spawned this whole Old Man Logan like series and character out of it, and it was also kind of the inspiration for this year's Logan as well, but also the fact that Logan really didn't take anything from that series, like aside from the fact that it's just an older Logan who is no longer as capable as he was. So there you go. But it's like, if I was going to tell you, if you want to see like a good Old Man Logan story, just go read Lemire stuff. Specifically those first 3 volumes. The whole 5 though make a nice complete story as it were. Oh, and also I understand they're making an Old Man Hawkeye miniseries that's also mining the same material as well, which it's got art from Marco Cicchetto, so it'll look good. Just writing from a guy I've never heard of before, so we'll see about that. But also, Lemire does a good job of fleshing out the characters of Logan's, Old Man Logan's wife and kids. Before they were just killed, because they had to be, courtesy of Miller's story. So there's that too. But also, I do want to touch upon a bit, because I'm talking about Lemire's work. He does save his most interesting stuff for his creator own work, like his new image title, Royal City. Now, Lemire does have a big affection for small town life. The stuff that isn't completely urbanized, stuff that's being threatened by modern redevelopment. It's and close-knit families that have their own issues, and there's a lot that's familiar about this series. You've got the bickering old parents, Peter and Patty. It's when Peter wakes up. We're at the beginning of the series. Peter wakes up, wants to grab some midnight snack, and his wife gives him crap for it. It's and then Peter goes out to his shed where he's got all his old radios that's his hobby, and it's oh, you got bickering bickering parents. It's great. And also you've got their it's like, let's see, you've got their it's like you got their it's like you got their daughter. It's like who is trying to like let's see who is trying to um help daughter Tara, who's trying to develop a like a new resort and golf course that will like put a bunch of people in the city out of business, including your husband, but will hopefully revitalize the community. You also got like the ne'er do well son, Richie, who it's like who was just like off getting, who was only concerned with just getting high and having fun. It's like and the prodigal son Pat, who had a bestseller about the city, but his second book flopped. Now he's under pressure to develop a follow up third one. Now, the thing is, though, it's like as we're introduced to these characters, we see that they're being haunted by. They keep interacting with someone named Tommy. Pat sees him like in the middle of the road as he comes back to town. Tara sees him as a little kid who needs to be babysat. Richie sees him as like his indulgent best buddy. Patty sees him as the best as the religious as the pious church going father of the local parish. It's like and Peter kind of sees him as like the guide to the afterlife, such as it was. And I realize this is kind of spoiling the big twist at the end of the volume, but these versions of Tommy are basically how this family sees like their dead family member in the present life. Now, it's when I finally figured this out, it was like, wow, that's actually a really novel idea for how to showing how people deal with grief. And and Lemire goes on to further this as the series goes on, as Pat's version of Tommy talks to him about why did you use my I need my my life back. You used my journal to write that first book of yours, the one that made you famous. Richie's vision of Tommy gets him in trouble for the guys he owes money to, and so if he tells him like, hey, maybe Dad's radios are going to if you grab them and sell them, they'll get you the money you need. So it's really so even though there's a lot of familiar convention about how about small town families and how and the familiar infighting that goes on there, and that I think will probably be a lot more familiar to also people who not just small town families, but people who just bicker with families in general. It's Lemire does have a even though there's a lot of familiar stuff here, there's enough enough different and divergent stuff in here that actually makes me interested to see where it goes, to the point where Pat eventually does give Tommy back his journal, and also how Pat's estranged wife eventually comes to visit him at the end of the volume, and also how when Pat is confronted by the person he's encountered through town during his return, you realize, okay, she's probably gonna say that, oh, hey, yeah, you're my dad. No, she's actually his Pat is actually her uncle, which wait, what does that mean now? It's and also interesting bits where the bitter Patty is cynically honest to Pat about his about his work. It's and how Tara trying to manage things with her with her husband, who was organizing the union that could get her real estate deal sunk. And when Peter, whose spirit is coursing through the afterlife after his stroke, he says he eventually guides the spirit of Tommy that is guiding Richie, just like, hey, you know what? Hey, I know that Richie needs money. Just don't take these radios as what he's gonna need, because these are the ones that are worth the most. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of family drama that's familiar, but I think that Lemire's work, the storytelling is there's enough different in here, enough stuff that diverges from convention that makes it worth following. And while I realize that Lemire's art, I wouldn't say it's certainly attractive stuff. It's still interesting and emotive. It doesn't have the same kind of experimental work that he constantly showed off over the course of Sweet Tooth, but I think it's it's still being polished and and engaging to a certain extent. So yeah, it's if you're looking for a good crusty Wolverine story, his work on Old Man Logan, I definitely recommend it. If you're looking for something a bit more substantive, then I guess Royal City will also do the job as well. But hey, also DC is re-releasing Sweet Tooth in deluxe editions, so that's worth your time as well. All right, so I guess John, any thoughts on your end about any of this?
Nope. Unfortunately, I have no thoughts on this.
Nothing.
Nothing at this point. Yes. But is this something you would recommend?
Like I said, it's if you're if you're looking for a good crustier than usual Wolverine story, then yeah, check out Old Man Logan. I do think his first volume of Royal City is probably, if you had to spend money on one, I'd probably say give it to Royal City, because give it to creator-owned stuff is always worth supporting compared to worthwhile creator-owned stuff is worth supporting over studio stuff, especially since Lemire is definitely going to get a lot more money if you buy his that first volume of Royal City. It's also only $10 too.
Oh, hey, and easy on the pocketbook, as they say.
Yep.
All right. Do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Unless something comes up, I'm probably going to be talking about Mike Mignola and Christopher Golan's Baltimore series, which has a badass bald villain, not badass bald hero who would be perfectly played by Patrick Stewart in his Next Generation Glory days. But I'm sure you probably also get Tom Hardy to play him perfectly too these days as well.
All right. We'll talk to you next time on Comic Picks by the Click.
Right. Laters.